Well, welcome to a very special edition of the Electric Flying Podcast. Not from Teugen in the Netherlands this time, but from Sweden in Skellefteå.
Yep.
How's my pronunciation?
Close enough.
Okay, close enough. Today I'm flying the Pipistrel Velis Electro with Erlend Varslot. He's a flight instructor at Green Flight Academy. Thanks for having me. Is it okay if I ask some questions here?
Of course, no
Yeah?
problem at all.
Okay, great. Can you briefly explain what your days at Green Flight Academy look like?
I mean, for me, it's one of two things. I'm working primarily as a theoretical knowledge instructor for the ATP subjects. So a lot of the time is spent preparing and improving the material we use for those lessons. Currently preparing myself to do operational procedures. But besides that, I'm also currently working on my flight instructor rating with Johan and Stig. So when I fly, it's usually that. So it's it's flight instructor lessons. There's a lot of office work for me at the moment, but the plan is to get my colleague and I, Brian, done with our flight instructor ratings as soon as possible by sometime in the first half of May. Yeah. So that we can do a bunch of flying over the summer when the more experienced flight instructors are off on summer holidays. So that'll be so much fun.
Oh, nice. So you're trained in your own academy. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically.
Super. And about the students, why do you think students choose for Green Flight Academy?
Based on what they've said when I've asked them, it's I mean there's the obvious one. There's people who are interested in sustainability and environment, but I think the main one is actually to do with conditions. They tend to. I've heard a couple times they're interested in learning how to fly somewhere where they can actually practice planning for and taking into consideration less than ideal weather conditions. I was about to say dangerous. It's not dangerous, but you learn how to do it properly as opposed to 40-degree and sunshine all year round.
So it's a combination of the sustainability and the environment here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing airfield. It's so quiet and so big.
Yeah.
So it's a nice combination. It's really like free airspace. All the things of a big airport, and it's a great training environment.
Yeah. I think Sweden has a lot of these sort of tiny airports with massive runways because of military operations.
Oh yeah, sure.
Flying in Scandinavia, it sounds cool in and of itself, like in the snow and 35-degree summers and minus 35-degree winters. You kind of get everything from A to B. A to Z, I mean.
Yeah, it's perfect, man. And if there are a lot of these kind of airports, is there also connectivity in terms of do you have charging facilities over there, or is it just Green Flight Academy right now?
I think for the time being, as far as I know, I'm not super familiar, so I'll be careful with what I say. I'm still fairly new.
We put disclaimers.
But exactly. Yeah. I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone. No, I was going to say that I believe Skellefteå Airport is their goal is to be the leader in sustainable civil aviation. They want to be a hub, an electric regional airport. Yeah, that's why they've invested so heavily into infrastructure for it. And I'm not entirely sure what stage other competing airports in the area are doing in terms of that.
But if you do training flights, for example, navigation flights, do you fly electric to other airports or not yet?
No, we just don't have the range for it, or the endurance, basically. Because the way it functions now is you have about an hour of endurance, minus 10 minutes for final reserve, and that's assuming we stay close to the airport. If we're flying further away, then it increases
we do the same. We do navigation flights electric in the Netherlands, but then we we have the 30 minutes endurance.
Exactly.
And then there are airports close by with charging facilities, so we can do with a lot of with a bit of improvising navigation flights. But yeah,
the way we do navigation flights in the Pipistrel is we essentially just fly around the control zone.
Yeah. That's it.
So you can make about one lap of the control zone before you have to come in and land.
Okay, perfect. It's designed for Pipistrel.
Exactly, it's perfect.
Look at the views, it's amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah. I guess here my hotel is over here somewhere.
Yeah, that would be this way. We can go over and see it if you want.
Oh yeah.
No, but in terms of the endurance, the aircraft itself is perfect for what we use it for, because it's a great early flight trainer. Even despite the endurance on it, students get tired really fast in the beginning. So it doesn't really matter that much. And then
no, that's also what I also say.
Yeah.
People say endurance this and that. I say okay, but the first, especially the first 10 or 20 hours, you know, it's way more than enough. 1 hour of training.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And the other benefits of the aircraft is it has. It's very good for stick and rudder. Like, its systems are fairly simple. It only has 4 switches here, and we still do the checklists anyway to get them in that mindset for commercial air transport on more complex aircraft.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very simple, and the flying characteristics are brilliant. Like, it has really long wings.
Yeah.
So when you're turning, you really have to use rudder. To counteract the adverse yaw, which you don't really get on other planes. And that's one thing I noticed. On the planes I'd flown before, I'd learned to be very conservative with how I use my rudder, but here you really need to like put your foot down to actually
you have to work.
Yeah, exactly, to get it to stay coordinated. Yeah. And that's the ideal, really, in terms of a trainer. It's simple, but with very exaggerated flying characteristics.
Yeah. What will the next generation of electric or maybe hybrid planes will be for Flight Academy or in general?
I think the next step for the Pipistrel is a battery with a 90-minute endurance, and then after that they're probably going to be working on 3 hours, and then 5 hours, and it's like with electric cars. Like they can drive a lot longer than they could just 5 years ago. It's
a matter of time.
Exactly. Yeah. It's going very quickly, that development.
Yeah, because since we started the E-Flight Academy in 2021, I didn't expect that we still have only one certified electric plane in 2024 right now.
Yeah.
Did you? Or?
I'll be honest, I hadn't really thought about it, but it's the kind of thing where, I mean, if you think about heads-up displays, for example, we've had them since the 1950s.
Yeah.
And they've only just recently become okay in terms of civil aviation because of how long it takes.
So things get slow.
Things go slowly in terms of legislation, and so we basically think the issue is a lot of people consider electric vehicles generally, but especially aeroplanes in this case, because the cars have gotten really good. The endurance is an issue. We don't have the technology now, therefore we have to wait until it gets better. But you can, in actuality, start using it now and find niches and use cases for it to incentivize the manufacturers to actually invest in the technology so that we get to the utopia we're looking for.
Yeah.
But that's it's somewhat difficult to get people on board with that,
especially in aviation.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And Pipistrel has a lot of wonderful things, but also annoying things. What are the most annoying things in your head?
Yeah, I'm kind of like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like the headset hair of the ages after this, but I always do.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. I don't know. This is yeah.
That's the issue with a cantilevered wing. Like had they done the externally braced ones, then they probably wouldn't need this. But at the same time, then aerodynamics, right? So it's not.
Maybe we could do a little request to Pipistrel to make this a little bit higher for tall people in Netherlands and Sweden.
Yeah, exactly.
Please do us a favor. Yeah.
But it works for me. I'm 189. I'd be interested in seeing how my 210 body would fare inside this plane. I just don't think he'd fit. Like the pedals are as far back as they
like
would. It's not a big machine, this one, and it's not meant to be. Like the bigger electric, when the Diamond comes out, there'll be bigger electric aeroplanes, but this is probably the biggest, for my sake, the biggest shortcoming of the plane.
Yeah, I can understand.
No, it's a very nice plane. It has its
limitations right
limitations, but and for a trainer it works great.
Turn left downwind runway 10, Sierra November Delta, thank you. Again. Navy N81, Charlie, request start.
Yeah, there's a 172 over the ocean somewhere, but
they warn you for there's one other plane in the airspace.
They need something to do.
How many big planes are taking off a day?
About 4. Not too bad. But it's a bit annoying with the electrics though, because we do need to think around them. Turn in here.
Sierra November Delta turning for a left downwind runway 10 now.
Alright, I might be a bit high here, we'll see.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Dare to hold our pitch. All the way down. Lest we lose all our energy.
Super nice.
And we made it.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much, Erlend. It was really nice to fly with you. Thank you.
No
Also
problem
for
at all.
the hospitality here at Green Flight Academy. Really nice people over here. And I hope that E-Flight and Green Flight Academy can somehow work together to prove the world that sustainable pilot training is really possible right now. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you. That we will. We'll do our best.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.